Hey everyone, yesterday I talked about the tritium leak that happened at the Monticello nuclear plant in Minnesota. Today I wanted to give a little more context about what that means. It's definitely safe to say that any sort of leaks from a nuclear power plant are less than desirable, but the public perception of the risks from these leaks is generally a lot higher than the actual risk. And this perception is understandable. We've been conditioned for over half a century to believe that when you hear the word radiation or nuclear, it's the worst of risks. And this probably comes from the perception that we have of nuclear weapons. We as a society have generalized this fear over the entire nuclear technology field. When it comes to having tritium leaks from nuclear plants, it's not common for it to happen, but it happens a lot more than you think. In fact, over the entire industry's lifetime and the 61 plants that we have across the nation, 43 of them have had these sort of leaks. And not a single one of these leaks ever resulted in an off-site release. So it would be safe to say that the likelihood of the tritium reaching off-site and being detected by environmental monitoring is very low. And this environmental monitoring is done by both the plant as well as third parties. Now this would be a good time to say that although none of these leaks did make it off-site, intentional releases of tritium are actually something that is done on a regular basis from nuclear plants around the world. But these sort of releases are done very intentionally with all sorts of monitoring around them. They're required to be below the requirements of the NRC as well as the EPA. The resulting dose from these intentional releases from nuclear plants is extremely low. It's a tiny fraction of what you would get from the natural background. Thankfully, tritium has one of the lowest health hazards of all the isotopes that a nuclear plant could release. That's because it doesn't concentrate or bioaccumulate like other contaminants such as lead or mercury. And the radiation that comes from tritium is actually very weak. Just standing next to it will do absolutely nothing to you. You would have to consume large amounts of it to have any sort of health effect. If you have any questions about this, let me know, and if anything new comes out, I'll make sure to update you all.